Welcome everyone to today's explainer. I am so incredibly excited about this one because we're going to deconstruct something that is just absolutely fascinating. We're looking at a massive, undeniable phenomenon, how a single creator manages to capture hundreds of millions of views consistently, time and time again. We're talking about MrBeast. When you look at numbers that insanely large, you really have to stop and ask how human creativity can even operate at that kind of scale. Well, today, we're going to break down exactly how his brain, and really his entire production process, works so much like an AI neural network.
Okay, let's dive into this. Is MrBeast's success just a product of extreme luck? Is he just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks? Or is his creative process actually mirroring an artificial intelligence system? We're going to treat his channel completely like a machine learning model today. We want to figure out how a human being can replicate the sheer efficiency of a machine to completely dominate a platform. So let's boot up the model and see exactly how this works, step by step.
To really wrap our heads around this, we have to start right at the beginning of our metaphor. Now, every single AI model, no matter how advanced it is, has to begin with an input layer. This is the starting point. It's the phase where the system just goes out and collects raw, unfiltered information and data from the outside world. Because, an AI can't just generate something brilliant out of thin air, right? It absolutely requires data to learn from. Without this massive initial intake of information, the machine is literally flying blind.
So let's connect this AI concept directly to reality. What exactly is MrBeast's input data? His team is out there actively gathering very specific, highly measurable data points. They're pulling in viewer comments to gauge the overall vibe and sentiment. They're obsessively analyzing watch time metrics to see the exact second people get bored and click away. They're scrutinizing click-through rates to figure out what actually makes you stop scrolling. They monitor trends. They absorb audience feedback. This isn't just someone casually reading comments. This is a highly systematic data collection operation, exactly like an AI getting ready for training.
And there's a really critical takeaway here for anyone trying to master a system. The more useful the data, the better the next decision. Just like an AI learns directly from the raw data it consumes, wildly successful creators are learning directly from how you, the viewer, respond to their content. The quality of the input completely dictates the quality of the output. If you're ignoring the data that's right there in front of you, you're basically trying to fly a spaceship with the power turned completely off. But here's the thing. Raw data all by itself, it's kind of useless until you process it. In a neural network, this processing happens in the hidden layers. This is the internal workspace where the AI actively analyzes all that data to discover really complex patterns, rather than just blindly memorizing facts. It's aggressively hunting for the hidden rules of success. It's connecting all these tiny dots that definitely aren't obvious on the surface. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how directly we can map the AI's internal pattern finding straight onto MrBeast's rigorous testing and experimenting. Look, an AI adjusts itself dynamically during training to lock onto successful patterns, right? Well, the creator process does the exact same thing, just with different variables. Instead of tweaking code weights and biases, MrBeast and his team are constantly experimenting with titles. They're testing different thumbnails, tweaking the pacing, refining the storytelling, making these ultra-precise adjustments to the editing, and escalating the challenges. Every single one of these variables gets tweaked in the hidden layer of production to find that perfect, undeniable pattern for audience retention. And the ultimate outcome of all that intense work in the hidden layers? It's actually elegantly simple. Successful ideas are repeated. Weak ideas are removed. By treating every single new video as a highly controlled experiment, the whole system just constantly adjusts and improves. If a certain style of thumbnail totally tanks the click-through rate, boom, the system learns. That weak idea is gone. If a super fast-paced edit in the first 30 seconds really hooks the audience, that successful idea gets repeated. The machine literally gets smarter every single time it runs.
Which leads us directly into the output layer. This is the final stage of an AI model. It's the moment where all of that raw data collection and all of that intense processing in the hidden layers finally turns into something tangible. It produces the actual result, the finished product that's finally ready to be released out into the wild.
To make this crystal clear for our creator analogy, the output of this massive computational effort is simply the published video itself. That final file uploaded to the internet is the culmination of the entire neural network's effort. But, and this is where I think most people get it completely wrong, hitting publish is not the end of the process. In a true machine learning environment, the output is actually just the starting line for the next phase.
Because the process doesn't just stop at publishing. Millions of viewers are about to react to that output in a ton of different ways. Some people are going to be captivated and watch every single second until the end. Others might get bored and bounce early. Some might find it so mind-blowing they instantly share it with their group chats. Every single one of these reactions acts as a vital pulse check on how well those hidden layers actually did their job.
So the crucial point we really need to understand here is the feedback loop. One of an AI's absolute greatest strengths is its ability to learn from feedback. A feedback loop is just a continuous cycle where the reactions to your final output instantly become the fresh, raw data for the very next project. The system basically eats its own results to get stronger.
Here is how that secret sauce actually plays out step by step. First, you produce the output. Next, the viewers react to it. Then, you eagerly gather all that new data, the good, the bad, and the truly ugly, and you immediately use it to improve the next video. The ultimate goal here isn't to achieve absolute perfection on your first try. Honestly, that's impossible. The true goal is constant, relentless improvement over time. You study the performance, you refine your ideas, and you try again, armed with way better data than you had yesterday.
And honestly, that mindset right there helps explain why some creators consistently produce incredibly successful videos. It's not a big mystery, and it's definitely not some magical gift. This continuous learning cycle is the true mechanical engine behind compounding success. When you see someone going viral over and over and over again, you aren't witnessing mere luck. You're witnessing a highly optimized feedback loop in full, unstoppable motion.
Now, I do want to briefly pause and clarify our analogy, just to maintain perfect factual accuracy here. MrBeast is not literally an AI. He doesn't have a computer chip in his head. He is entirely human. But his highly systematic, relentlessly data-driven approach to creating content is an absolutely perfect, real-world reflection of how AI training actually works. He's managed to completely map the sheer efficiency of machine learning directly onto human creative endeavors.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this question to chew on. How can you apply this continuous improvement loop to your own work? Whether you're making content, building a brand new business, or just trying to learn a new skill, how can you better collect your inputs, really test your hidden layers, and create a feedback loop that pretty much guarantees you get better every single time? Think about how you can start engineering your own success today. If you love exploring these kinds of concepts, make sure you implement your own feedback loop and keep learning with us right here on The Explainer.